nice video.
Hold on. Fighting.
The river appears calm at first glance. Its smooth, mirror-like surface reveals no hint of the danger hidden beneath. But that illusion can vanish in an instant. Without warning, the water erupts as a giant crocodile explodes upward with astonishing force, launching a lightning-fast attack before its victim has time to react. The entire encounter is over almost as soon as it begins, yet nothing about it is accidental. Every movement is the result of days or even weeks of absolute patience. The crocodile waits without revealing its presence, conserving every ounce of energy until the perfect opportunity arrives. In this unforgiving world, success belongs to the predator that knows exactly when patience must give way to violence. Below the surface lies a battlefield ruled by stealth. Every year, more than 1 million wildebeests begin one of Earth's greatest wildlife migrations, traveling over 500 miles across the East African plains in search of fresh grass and seasonal rains. Their incredible journey eventually forces them to confront one of its deadliest obstacles, the crocodile-infested rivers of the Serengeti. As endless columns of animals thunder across the savanna, sending dust swirling high into the air, the massive herds are squeezed toward a handful of narrow crossing points. Hidden beneath the murky water, enormous Nile crocodiles remain perfectly still, waiting for the exact moment when chaos at the river's edge turns into the perfect opportunity to strike. For the wildebeest, the river is simply another challenge on a journey that cannot be avoided. Reaching the lush grazing lands on the opposite bank means stepping into one of the most dangerous places in Africa. For the Nile crocodile, however, this moment is the highlight of the year. Hidden beneath the murky water, these ancient reptiles can weigh well over 1,000 pounds and remain almost perfectly still for days or even weeks, burning very little energy as they wait. They know the migration will come, and when thousands of exhausted animals begin crowding the riverbank before plunging into the current, discipline quickly gives way to panic. In confusion, the herd's greatest strength, its numbers, begins to disappear. That is when everything can change in an instant. One wildebeest hesitates. Another stumbles on a slick rock hidden beneath the surface. A third is pushed off balance by the powerful current. For a crocodile lying in wait, that single moment of vulnerability is all it needs. It launches from the water with explosive force, covering the short distance before its target can recover. On land, the healthy wildebeest relies on speed, agility, and the safety of the herd to escape predators. But in the river, those advantages vanish. The rushing water slows every movement, steals its footing, and leaves it struggling to stay afloat, while the crocodile moves with effortless control through an environment perfectly suited to the hunter. Once its jaws clamp shut, escape becomes incredibly unlikely. A Nile crocodile can generate nearly 3,700 pounds of bite force per square inch, allowing it to seize even large prey with overwhelming power. With a firm grip, it drags the struggling wildebeest into deeper water, where exhaustion sets in quickly. Every desperate kick burns valuable energy, while the crocodile remains calm and completely in control. Yet the tragedy of one animal does little to slow the migration. All around the attack, thousands of wildebeest continue pressing toward the opposite bank. The herd cannot afford to stop. On the Serengeti, survival depends on reaching the next grazing grounds, even if some never complete the journey. Although crocodiles are often viewed only as deadly predators, they are an essential part of this ancient ecosystem, naturally regulating wildlife populations and helping maintain the delicate balance that has shaped these plains for thousands of years. While rivers are ruled by crocodiles, the vast grasslands belong to an entirely different hunter. On the open savanna, the lion stands at the top of the food chain. A fully grown male can weigh close to 500 pounds and accelerate to nearly 50 miles per hour over short distances, combining explosive power with remarkable strength. Across the African plains, few animals willingly confront such a predator. But dominance depends on the environment. The moment a lion approaches the water's edge, the balance of power begins to shift. Here, the solid ground that gives the lion its greatest advantage disappears, and the crocodile becomes the master of the battlefield. For lions, every river is both a lifeline and a potential death trap. They depend on these waterways for fresh drinking water, especially during the long dry season when every source becomes precious. But beneath the muddy surface, another apex predator is always watching. Nile crocodiles can remain almost invisible for hours, sometimes days, waiting for a single careless moment. Lions and crocodiles have no reason to seek each other out, yet they are drawn to the same rivers year after year. As long as both species rely on these watering holes, encounters between them are not a matter of if but when. Young lions face the greatest risk. Lacking experience, they are more likely to wander too close to the shoreline or linger a little too long at the water's edge. That brief moment of curiosity can be all a crocodile needs. In an instant, the quiet river erupts as the reptile launches from the shallows with explosive speed, attempting to drag its victim into the water before it can react. The attack sends the pride into immediate chaos. Deep, thunderous roars roll across the riverbank as the adults rush forward, then stop just shore of the water. They understand the danger better than anyone. On land, the lion is the hunter. But in the river, every step forward shifts the advantage to the crocodile, and even the king of the savanna must respect the rules of another predator's domain. The balance of power shifts the moment the crocodile leaves the water. Away from the river, its greatest strengths begin to fade. The same heavy armor and muscular body that make it a devastating ambush hunter become serious disadvantages on dry land, where speed and agility matter far more. Lions are quick to recognize the opportunity. Working together, they circle the reptile, using their superior mobility to keep constant pressure on it. Rather than rushing into a dangerous attack, they force the crocodile to retreat toward the river, the only place where it can regain the upper hand. Every second spent on land increases the reptile's vulnerability, and a delayed retreat can quickly turn a formidable predator into vulnerable prey. Then, in an instant, patience gives way to action. The eagle folds its wings and plunges toward the earth with breathtaking speed, transforming gravity into a weapon of perfect control. Within seconds, the gap between hunter and prey vanishes. What moments earlier was a distant speck on the ground is now firmly within its grasp. This is more than a hunt. It is a display of dominance, a reminder that few creatures can match the skill, power, and mastery of the bird that rules the open sky. Mountain goats are built for a world few animals can navigate. Their specialized split hooves allow them to cling to rocky ledges barely wider than their own bodies, while their powerful frames give them the balance and strength needed to survive on near-vertical cliffs. An adult mountain goat can outweigh an eagle several times over, making it a risky and formidable opponent. But in the harsh terrain of the mountains, even the sure-footed can become vulnerable. When a young goat strays too far from the safety of the herd, an opportunity emerges for a predator watching from above. Far below, in the shelter of dense forests, a different challenge awaits. Monkeys are among the most skilled climbers in the animal kingdom, perfectly adapted to life in the treetops. Their lightweight bodies allow them to move effortlessly through a maze of branches, vines, and thick foliage. Traveling in groups high above the forest floor, they leap from tree to tree with impressive confidence, using the dense canopy as both a highway and a shield from danger. Hidden among layers of leaves and tangled branches, they leave few clear opportunities for predators to strike. Yet even in the crowded maze of the forest canopy, the eagle is constantly searching for weakness. It watches patiently from above, waiting for the briefest lapse in attention. A monkey distracted by food or separated from the safety of Across the African savanna, the lion doesn't need to prove its dominance. Its presence alone is enough to change the behavior of everything around it. Herds tighten their ranks, predators become more cautious, and the open plains fall into a silent state of awareness. A single roar can travel for miles, announcing that the ruler of this territory is near. In this world, survival is not measured by who is brave enough to confront a lion. The real question is who can hold their ground when the king of the savanna decides to move forward. When that moment comes, strength, speed, and numbers are often put to the ultimate test. Across the vast grasslands of the southern Serengeti, African wild dogs patrol the open plains with remarkable precision. Weighing around 60 pounds each, they are not the largest predators on the savanna, but they are among the most efficient. Their success comes from teamwork. Every movement is coordinated, every chase carefully executed, turning a pack of individuals into a highly effective hunting force built on speed, endurance, and strategy. Despite sharing the same landscape, lions and wild dogs rarely compete directly for food. Territory, however, is a different matter. When a male lion notices a pack moving through an area under his control, the tension rises immediately. The dogs may be fast and disciplined, but the presence of a lion changes the equation. As the giant predator advances, the pack's tight formation begins to break apart, each member instinctively creating space and preparing for a rapid retreat. When a male lion enters the scene, the wild dogs immediately change their behavior. Rather than standing their ground, they spread out and keep a safe distance, carefully tracking every movement. They understand this. One explosive charge from a lion can turn a tense standoff into a deadly encounter in a matter of seconds.
Oh my god, look at this!
For the lion, the objective goes beyond confrontation. Every advance is a clear message to anyone nearby. This territory is claimed, and its boundaries will be enforced. Under normal circumstances, the lion holds a clear physical advantage. A fully grown male can outweigh a wild dog by 6 or 7 times, giving it unmatched strength in a direct confrontation. But on the savanna, size alone does not determine every outcome. When a lioness is traveling with young cubs, priorities change. Instead of asserting dominance, her focus shifts to keeping her offspring safe and avoiding unnecessary risks. Sensing that hesitation, wild dogs may use their greatest strength, teamwork. Through coordinated movements, quick feints, and constant barking, they can create enough pressure to keep the lioness occupied and force her attention toward protecting her cubs. In these moments, the encounter becomes more than a territorial dispute. It becomes a clash between two very different survival strategies: the lion's raw power versus the wild dog's discipline, coordination, and persistence.
Takedown. They have no weapon except their teeth, but they have large premolars for crushing it.
As the dust settles, the savanna reveals another lesson about survival. Every predator has its place, its strategy, and its limits. Strength alone does not rule this landscape. Success often belongs to those who can work together, adapt quickly, and seize opportunities when they appear. In one intense clip, a jaguar spots a massive caiman gliding across a lake. The big cat silently slips into the water, strikes with lightning speed, and locks its powerful jaws around a reptile. The caiman barely has time to react. Its own formidable bite proves useless. Moments later, the jaguar drags its prize away for a well-earned meal. Another encounter shows a jaguar patrolling infested waters in search of food. A caiman tries to hide underwater, but the cat's sharp eyes catch every movement. One precise bite to the neck paralyzes the caiman instantly, leaving it with zero chance to fight or escape. Every hunt is a display of precision. Every movement is carefully timed, every roll perfectly executed, as if the entire pod is performing a strategy rehearsed over generations. For orcas, hunting is not simply about finding their next meal. It is a demonstration of communication, experience, and problem-solving unlike anything else in the marine world. This is the story of nature's greatest tacticians and the remarkable predators that have redefined what it means to rule the sea. For generations, the great white shark has been the undisputed icon of the ocean's most feared predators. Forged by millions of years of evolution, it combines explosive speed, razor-sharp teeth, and incredibly streamlined body into a hunter built for efficiency. Few animals have the size, strength, or confidence to challenge a predator, so perfectly adapted to life at the top of the food chain. But the balance of power beneath the waves has begun to shift. A far more versatile predator has emerged, one that depends on far more than physical strength alone. The orca can reach speeds of nearly 40 miles per hour and possesses immense power, but its greatest weapon isn't its bite. It's the ability to think, communicate, and hunt as a coordinated team. In the ocean, intelligence has become the ultimate advantage. Orcas rarely overpower their strength alone. Instead, they look for weaknesses and turn them into opportunities. When facing a great white shark, they may roll it onto its back, triggering a temporary condition known as tonic immobility. Within seconds, one of the ocean's most formidable predators becomes defenseless, proving that the smartest strategy can be more effective than the strongest bite. In the icy waters surrounding Antarctica, orcas reveal one of the most remarkable hunting strategies ever observed in the wild. Rather than relying on speed or brute force, they work together with astonishing precision to hunt seals resting on floating sheets of ice. Scientists call this technique wave washing, and it stands as one of the clearest examples of intelligence and cooperation in the marine world. The attack begins with perfect coordination. Lining up side by side, the pod accelerates in unison, generating a powerful wave that surges toward the ice. As the water crashes beneath the frozen platform, it rocks violently, breaking the seal's only refuge. Within moments, the startled animal is swept into the freezing ocean, where the waiting orcas close in with flawless timing. What makes this behavior truly extraordinary is that it isn't instinct alone. These hunting techniques are learned, refined, and passed from one generation to the next. Young orcas spend years watching experienced adults, practicing each maneuver and gradually mastering the skills that keep the pod successful. Over time, this shared knowledge becomes a living tradition, proving that survival depends not only on biology, but also on learning, experience, and cooperation. Their ingenuity doesn't end in the open water. In some coastal regions, orcas take an even greater gamble by deliberately surging onto the shoreline to catch unsuspecting seals or sea lions. It's a bold move that leaves almost no room for error. Misjudge the timing or the tide, and the hunter could become trapped on land. Yet time and again, their precision allows them to turn one of the ocean's greatest risks into another remarkable display of intelligence.